Hello everyone. On my craft table today, I have a tutorial for you for making bead crochet ropes. Bead crochet begins by stringing all the beads that you need for the project onto the thread. Then we begin to crochet. How to string the beads to get a pattern, etc. will be covered in another episode. The ropes are made up of rows of beads. That's the circumference of the rope. It can be 5 beads, 6 bead, 8 bead, 10 bead, and it even goes up to even 18 to 20 beads in one row also. Now let me get a rope. See, this rope here has 8 beads in a row. So this rope is the circumference of this rope is 8 bead circumference. Now what I am going to show you is a 6 bead rope. I have strung beads on this on very thick cotton thread. This is especially easy for beginners to learn, and most importantly it shows up very well for the camera. I have strung on beads in this order. See, the order of beads that I have is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the same order and in the same color pattern, I have put on all the beads that I need on the thread. And the beads that I am using are quite big beads. They are like half a size of a pony bead, and there are in different colors, so I have chosen 6 colors, and I have strung them on in the order of the color that I have placed outside. So these are very uneven beads, but it doesn't matter. This is only for learning, and it's also very good for a beginner because the beads are very big and nice to work with. Now let's begin. Before that, the crochet hook that I am using is a steel crochet hook. It is size 6 or 1 mm. You should use the hook that is recommended or suitable for the thread that you are using. So I begin by making a slip knot. I assume that you all are familiar with crochet terminology and crochet stitches, so I will not be explaining that in detail. Now bring down the group of 6 beads and keep good tension on your working thread. Now we will be making chain stitches with the beads. I've started with a slip knot. Now I will follow up with chain stitches. So just keep these 6 beads in your working area. You can let the other beads fall over on the back of your hand. And keep good tension on this, so that is what will help you to make your stitches easily. So bring down the first bead and make a chain. Again bring down the second bead and make a chain. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is real time, so that is why it's taking a lot of time, but that's the good way for you to learn. So after making these 6 chain stitches with the beads, we have to make that into a circle. To make that into a circle like this, I am going to put my needle into the first chain stitch that I made with the bead. Okay, insert your needle into the first chain that you made. Keep your tail behind and make a slip stitch to join and make it into a circle. Okay, join with a slip stitch. When you join with a slip stitch, see, you have made a circle with 6 beads. So we are going to build the rope on these 6 beads. Now bring down the next 6 beads. And hold it tightly. See, the bead that you have on your base and the bead that you have on the working area is the same color. Insert your needle under the first bead there. See the orange bead. Insert your like this. Insert it like this. Push the bead from the left side to the right side of your needle. See, earlier the bead was on the left side. Now push it to the right side. At the same time, the working thread, you have to put it around the bead like this. See, can you see it closely here? And see, once again I am going to show you. Put your needle under the first bead. Under, in the sense, you know, there is a chain stitch there, so in that chain stitch. And gently push your bead to the right side of your crochet hook. And the working thread must come around the bead like this. After you do that, now is the time for you to bring down the bead from the working area and make a slip stitch. See, again, the bead that's on the base and on your working area is both same. It's dark blue color. There should be good tension on the thread that you are holding. Insert your hook under the blue bead. See, beginning because it is a little tricky, and because of the tiny part it is difficult to work, but then you'll get there, don't worry. Now after inserting the needle under the bead, I am pushing the bead to the right side, and at the same time I am bringing the working thread around the blue bead like this. Now bringing the new blue bead down and making a slip stitch. Now we are going to work the pink bead. So there is pink here also, and there's pink in the working area also. So work the pink bead. See, there is another way of making this stitch little easier also. See, what you have to do is, instead of putting your needle under the bead, try putting the bead, your needle to the left of the bead like this. And then at the same time, you see your working thread also has come to the left side, and it is in the position that we need. At this time, bring down the new bead and make a slip stitch. I'll show it to you again. So this is just one move and your stitch will be done. Now you have to work the maroon bead. So just look at how my needle is moving. Insert your needle under the bead. Bring the bead to the right side. Thread around the bead. Bring the new bead down and slip stitch. So this is one method of doing, right? So there's another method like I told you. Now look here, you are inserting your needle to the left of the bead. At the same time, your working thread also comes to in position. And now just bring down the new bead and make the slip stitch. So you see, this is just one movement and then your stitch is done. Watch again. So it takes some practice to do this, but then you will get there. Or you can go back to the method that I told you. Inserting it under the bead, pushing it to the right side, then putting the working thread around the bead and then making the slip stitch. Or follow the easier stitch routine. Now this will come only with practice. The more you practice, the more easier it will become. See, you can see some kind of a pattern forming, but yeah, it looks correct because because of the color code we can see that the stitches are correct. If the color wasn't there, it would have been really difficult for you to find out if your work is correct or if you are on the right track. Now bring down the next set of 6 beads. The first bead that you have to work is the orange bead. So there's orange on the base and orange on the working thread also. Now you see the next stitch. Just keep watch carefully. I'm making the easier stitch now. Inserting the needle to the left of the bead and just making a slip stitch. It requires a little sleight of the hand, which you will get as you practice more and more. See, look here. What we are making now is called as a bead crochet slip stitch. See, I'm just letting you watch silently without me speaking the same thing over and over again. Now we have come to the last bead of this row. Okay, so we have completed 3 rows now, and our work looks correct because all the beads are stacked up on each other in the correct color that we have used. Bring down the next set of 6 beads now. So zoom in and watch and keep watching carefully. You might get more tips which I am not able to explain. So you see, because you have something to hold on to now, it is easy to work the stitches, and our work is also moves quickly. See, you see, with just one movement of the hand I can finish the stitch. So let's continue working in the same way around. See, sometimes as I'm working, I also give it a little squeeze in order to get the thread a little loose there, and for me to insert the needle there. So because the rope is flexible, you can just give it a little bit of a squeeze there. So this is so addictive that if I have loaded the beads onto the thread, and I have some time, I keep on making it and I don't want to put it down. And especially when you have patterns, it's all the more interesting because you can see the patterns forming as you make these stitches. Now I'm able to move more quickly because I have something to hold on to. I'm bringing down. Now I'm not bringing down in sets of 6. I'm just bringing down beads in any number, because if your bead stringing is correct and your rope is in the correct order, it will keep on coming in that same spiral. But if you make a mistake because of the spiral pattern, you can immediately find out if you are not working the proper color thread. See, this bead was hidden in between, so there's a chance that I could have missed it. But since this is a 6 bead rope, you have to always watch out to see that there are 6 beads when you are working. There you go. See, now I told you, I give it a little squeeze like this so that I get a small gap for me to insert my needle to the left of the bead. So let me try to show you where is this left of the bead that you have to insert your needle. See, look there. So that is the place where you have to put your needle into. So if you squeeze it a little bit, see, that's the place. If you squeeze it a little bit, you will be you know there will be some room for you to put your needle into. I always make a slip stitch rope. I never make with a single crochet, or I never make with a double crochet, because I like the slip stitch crochet ropes better than the others. See, again I'm showing you the other method of making the rope. Put your needle under the bead, then push your bead to the right side. At the same time, bring the working thread around the bead, bring down the bead from the working area and make a slip stitch. Or just make a stitch in one move like this. See, when I started learning to make these crochet ropes, all that I had was some written instructions and pictures. I had no access to YouTube, and I didn't know if there were any YouTube tutorials like about 20 or 25 years back. So this took me about nearly 2 months to even to get to this point, to make a small to make a little bit of rope like this. And it was then that I understood using thick thread and big beads and different color beads was the way to learn to make the rope. So when I started using different colors for different for the circumference of the bead, and then my work became then I was able to learn, because I knew which beads I was going to work into. If all the beads are of the same color, you will not know which is the next bead you have to work into. You will not know the top bead, you will not know the bottom bead, so it will all become one big mess. So it looks now so quick and easy, isn't it? So with practice, you will also get there. And now you have something to hold on to. So the work will really move very quickly if you are in this position now. So I'm letting you to watch, so I'm not speaking anything. So I want you to watch closely how I'm making the stitch. And I will be very happy if you're able to use this method and you're able to conquer bead crochet row. And see, you see the spiral pattern coming up. And this is possible only if you use different color beads, and you'll be able to see the spiral clearly when you are learning. If you like my tutorial and you are able to master bead crochet ropes with this method, I would be very happy. Please do share it with anyone who would want to learn this method also. Thank you for watching. Please watch out for future episodes where we will be graduating from beginner's rope to advanced levels. Thank you for your time and your patience.